everybody. How are you guys doing today? Hello from Los Angeles. Hi, BE. Oh my goodness. So we're set up in a slightly different area today, and our kitties are like running amok. We've got Archimedes and Professor Poof, and they were just like crawling all over the place. So I'm assuming you're probably going to see a few appearances by them. And Archimedes is definitely like in a funny mood, so he's bouncing off the walls. Okay. Hello from North Carolina. Hello, Diane. And let's see. Oh my gosh. So, what do we have to talk about? There are so many things to talk about. The first I'm going to start with is, let's see, hello from New York City. Hello, Miguel. And hello from Sweden. Hello, Eleanor. Is it the middle of the night in Sweden right now? Am I wrong about that? I knew I wanted to do the end of the month this time. And so um, because I was working, like I've been working on the stress form this is one of those projects I bit off way too much. I thought it was going to be simpler, and then nothing got simpler, and it just got like more and more involved. And now it has turned into one of the most um, like intensive projects I've ever tackled before. But when you see what it looks like finished, it's completely worth it. It's not really going to look like how you last saw it in this last episode. So I'm still doing all of the woodworking. Do you guys want to hear a horror story just to start this entire thing off? It's a good one. It's actually a terrible one. Ooh, you know, that teapot's a little hot. Okay. I'm going to pour myself some tea before I get into this. So you see this finger? I almost lost this finger yesterday. I I don't know that it was actually going to come off, but I can't believe I'm okay. I was working with the little Dremel tool that's attached to the hose, and I've been working on this like woodworking endlessly. And when you see what it looks like, you'll understand why. Um, so I have a few massive safety things to warn you about if you are ever using any kind of power rotary tool ever. Apparently, don't wear gloves. I didn't know that. I thought you were supposed to wear gloves for safety. I don't think you should. The second thing, don't ever operate one of these things without a pedal release, some way that, because they sell these like attachment pedals that you can plug like the thing into, and then you push down just like a sewing machine on this pedal to make it work. And then when you release that, it stops. So I was working on this thing yesterday, listening to my audiobook, and like just I was focused. I was tired, if I'm being honest. And I think I warned, like, you're not supposed to work when you're tired. Um, and I was turning something, and it happened in like 1 second. My glove that I had in this hand, I had the tool in this hand, it just barely touched the glove, and it was like a snake. It just grabbed onto it, and I leaped up and was trying to pull it away, and it wouldn't. It was like the more I pulled, the tighter it got, and I was certain my finger was just destroyed under my glove. I just was doing everything I could to pull it off, and then I managed to slip my hand out of the glove, and it tore a huge chunk out of this glove, and it had basically cocooned itself in this fabric and was rotating around. I thought my finger was broken. It is just some miracle of God that I didn't have to go to the emergency room, and that I was able to keep working today. So I mentioned this stuff is dangerous, and I haven't had too many like real run-ins that scared me, and that did it. So um I guess don't wear gloves. And also make sure you wear, because the reason I'm talking about the pedal is I was so panicked about this thing being attached to my finger. I didn't think to like go over here and turn it off. So, ah. I don't know if that's that dramatic of a story for you guys, but for me, it was like I was telling my mom, I feel like I'm living in an alternate reality where something so horrible could have happened just yesterday. So this stuff is dangerous. And I like this finger. I mean, I could live without it, but I'd rather not if I didn't have to. So how are you guys doing? How has your August been? This has been kind of an odd month for me personally. I've got some nice decaffeinated tea. The captive was nice enough to make it for me. Let's see. Someone said the ghosts on the estate were looking out for you. Honestly, I can't believe I still have a finger and that it's not like horribly mangled. So I'm going to be more careful. And if I'm tired, I'm going to stop. You went under your house. Livid Sunshine said, I went under my house. Is there a basement under your house or did you just go into like a crawl space? So ready for fall? Oh my gosh. I am fully, this is kind of why I'm annoyed this project is taking so long, is because I'm done with everything. I'm ready to move into fun Halloween projects. I don't know if I should tell you the stuff I'm going to do. It's simple. I'm doing smaller fun projects that you guys can absolutely do yourselves. I think for the rest of the year, just like fun, like happy projects. I'm trying to think. I'm going to do, tell us. I'll tell you. I don't know. I'm going to keep one of them a secret. It's real simple. And the other one I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a Halloween mask next month. Wait, is it today's the 31st in September. I'm going to put out like a bonus episode of making a fun Halloween mask out of stuff literally you have in your house. So if you are desperately in a hurry, someone invites you to a Halloween party at, I don't know, 3 o'clock, and you have an hour and a half to make something, I have figured out a way to make something terrifying. So stay tuned for that. And the other one I'm going to keep a secret. Let's see, which room are you in? I'm in the parlor, and these are gigantic pocket doors. They're huge. They're like, maybe 11 feet, 10 feet tall doors that are pocket doors. They're gorgeous. I love them so much. We've been here a year. I can't believe it. Someone said, any baking projects? I haven't determined if I'm doing baking projects, but I bet I will. Maybe we'll do a craft along or something like that. I feel like Halloween next month, we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff because we have the contest winner is coming here. Susanna is going to be here. I think it's the 8th of October. We've been talking. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to be doing, I don't want to give everything away, but we're doing really, really fun stuff. What was I just about to start talking about? The house and being here a year. I would say it just dawned on me, maybe a week ago, that it feels like home now. It took, and I haven't even decorated. I haven't even done all of the intensive decorating that I'm going to be tackling here soon. And so I don't know. I love it here. I'm so happy we did this. This house I've never loved a house as much as I love this one. So it's so beautiful here. I love it. So I don't know. I thought that would be a fun thing to share, that for the first time a week ago, I don't feel like I just moved in. I feel like this is like my house. It's a work in progress. Yes. My parents moved into an old Victorian house when I was 12, and they're still working on it. So obviously that was a minute ago. Okay. Someone said, I'm so sad I missed the contest. That was the worst contest I've ever done because I felt horrible. Like I felt horrible narrowing it down because there were still so many good responses that I thought were good. And it was painful. And then the closer it got down to like narrowing it to who was gonna be in that top four, I was like, there were still so many good ones that I don't know. There was a million reasons I was like, well, I guess this seems the most. I tried picking a project that we could really do. And some people had incredible project ideas that would take a little too long. Um, and I'm trying to think. The second runner up, her name is Christina Rodriguez. She doesn't live that far from me. I looked her up and I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm thinking on that. So, Christina, if you're watching this, I love you made it to second. You were the second runner up. So, I'm thinking on something. Let's see. But as far as, I saw an email from Suzanne and she said she does not mind being on camera. So we're going to work some of her trip into the episode for October. I do want to do a movie night in October for probably Trick or Treat. And maybe we'll turn that into like a movie night craft along or something. I don't know, but it'll definitely be something super fun. I'm really jazzed. It's Halloween. I was just talking with the captive. Spring and fall are the most incredible times of year in this area. The fall is so it looks like hocus pocus or something. It's so beautiful. A Sam craft along. I love that idea. I actually made the Little Red Riding Hood costume that I think Anna Paquin wears in that movie. Maybe we'll all dress up. I don't know yet. Do you guys have any questions before I continue rambling on anything? I'm gonna catch a drink really quick. Death Becomes Her would be a perfect movie night. I love that idea. That's a good, like, maybe January, February movie night when there's not as much going on. Why was it such an odd month for you? Because I had a giant basket of tasks to pull off. I so aside from working endlessly on this dress form, I had to completely design the annual gift that we send out to the top tier and then the annual Halloween card. And those are massive undertakings that like it's really its own project in and of itself because there's photography involved, there's a whole bunch of other elements involved. You have to deal with like production and printers and all sorts of people. So it was like doing both of those massive projects and working on this project, which is just never ending. So it's been one of those months that I have felt like I don't remember the last time I had a day to just like sit and like turn my brain off. So it's been a really overwhelming month, but I'm about to go into things being fun and only tackling like smaller, easier projects. Oh, the Photoshop episode was awesome. Did we like the Photoshop episode? The photography one? Because if you guys liked that, I would love to do more because the whole photography thing, I literally just chipped at the surface of how like involved all of that stuff is because obviously I've been doing photography and photo editing for so long. There was still so many things to cover. So, yes, I'm seeing okay, good. I think what I'm going to do is because I haven't put anything out publicly in forever. I think I'm giving you bonus episodes this coming month, and I might actually put that photography episode as a public one because I feel like people would just lose their minds for that one. And still, I have so many things we're going to do together as far as somebody mentioned something about it's a Cintiq. Cintiq. I wrote it, I made a copy of who stated it, but everyone was saying I was bonkers for using a mouse. And I've tried using that like it's a Wacom pen that like you're supposed to use the pen over here on this weird pad and look at the computer. And I mentally like can't bridge that gap Like, so I learned on this mouse. And so anyway, somebody said, the Cintiq thing. So I think I'm going to get one next month because it's like you actually draw on it with a pen. And I think it would make Photoshopping a whole lot easier. How is Archimedes doing after his surgery? He's a new cat. Where is he? I don't know where he is. He is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. He's doing wonderfully. His eyes are like good. They're so damaged from what happened that they'll never be totally perfect. But he's obviously not in any discomfort anymore around his eyes, and he's just like gotten more and more beautiful, and we brush him all the time, and he sleeps with us constantly. He's with us all the time. He's just a big, hilarious hamburger. And I don't know, he's obviously, I'll never love a cat as much as I love Biggles, but Archimedes is hysterical. He's wonderful. And somebody had just thrown him away. I don't know. He was such a different cat when we found him at the shelter. I think he was terribly depressed. And cats are like people. If they lose their family, they become extremely depressed. So he's completely out of that now. And I think I'm going to do that from now on, is when I lose a kitty, I'm going to go and get an older one because I've had such a good experience here. Any plans to visit Salem in October? I was just talking to the captive about that. I would really love to. Would you guys want to see like a vlog or something like that if I went and like filmed little bits and showed you what I love Salem? So I would love to do that. Someone said Cat B or Kate B says older cats equal awesome. Kittens, I think I may have said this in the last one. Kittens are I lose my mind for kittens. But yeah, they're only a kitten for like 2 seconds, and then they turn into this like teenager bratty sort of thing, and that lasts for like a couple years usually, and they're the most destructive during that period of time. And then the older they get, the more wonderful they get. People are saying yes to a Salem vlog. I would love to do that if you guys would like it. It would be fun to get my vintage car over there. I don't know. I wouldn't drive it that distance, but it would be fun if I could have it transported so I could drive around. Let's see. Someone said yes to the bratty catty stage. Yeah, it's the stage where the cats, when they're young adults, that they tear apart your house. So where do you find most of your vintage stuff? I've been buying a lot of clothes on Etsy. I didn't realize how many great vintage clothes are on Etsy. And the antiques, I usually either it's eBay or I go to antique places. So someone said, I don't live that far from Salem and would love to go there again. Well, you should. It's amazing there. Okay. Should I look at, I do a list. I found it's really, really good to always make a list. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I have a big thing to talk about. And I'm going to get your guys' opinion on this because it will involve you. What happened to your haunted doll? He lives in a cage and a spider watches over him. A little glass spider someone sent. Okay, let's see. So my biggest issue with the house right now is I haven't been doing I had planned to do all of this hand-painted wallpaper in every one of the rooms. And then I restored the wallpaper in the dining room. And I realized the hand-painted wallpaper I did in the past house is great for smaller rooms. And this house, the walls are so humongous that for me to go to the level of detail that I would want to would take me I don't even know, 3 months, 6 months, something like that, to do the hand detailed wallpaper. And my mom has been harassing me about this idea forever. This is my mom's idea. she was like, why don't you design your own wallpaper and like find a manufacturer um, that can produce it? And I started thinking about that, and I was like, if I were to do that, I could make completely unique looking wallpapers, and I've like researched how to create a repeating pattern. And that way I could make spooky looking, I mean, it would be elegant and beautiful with subtle spooky stuff going on. Um, and if I found someone who could produce it, I could make it available for you guys to buy if you guys wanted to. And that way, I can show you how I can do hand painted wallpaper in a few of the smaller rooms of the house, but for the bigger, huge rooms, I don't know. So I was thinking this might be something I could do, and then you guys could purchase it if you guys wanted to have a little bit of that in your own home. And I could, shift the colors in on the computer so you could make sure you could find colors for your house. Okay, are we liking this idea? I love this idea because I love the look of wallpaper. I feel like it completely transforms a room. So I don't like solid walls. It's just not my favorite thing. Okay, I'm seeing yeses. Someone said, Mom, great idea, Mom. My mom has tons of ideas, and she will be the first one to tell you. Someone said you could even have the pattern put on fabric. Absolutely. So you could make dresses with these. So yes, I'm going to be researching that and then hopefully actually starting it early next year because I have big plans for next year. I would like to get the kitchen done next year and start thinking about a big Halloween project in the front of the house, hopefully for next year. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Someone said spoon flower. I looked that up. I might want to find like a production company that does like kind of high quality, like a really, I don't know what spoon flower does exactly. But I would want there to be like possibly like beveled things and accents and all sorts of stuff. So I don't know. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions? I always see questions and then I start chatting and then I miss some of the good ones. Let's see. Should we see if we can get one of these silly little kitties over here? I don't see any movement. They might be zonked out. Someone said spoon flower is really expensive. Okay, that's good to know. Would you ever buy a Tiffany lamp? Aren't those like bananas expensive? I don't think so. I'll buy moderately pricey things, but I have like paranoia about buying like obscenely expensive things that are just like, I don't know. I feel like you can get a reproduction. Let's see. How are the renovations coming? Vintage plumbing, roof, HVAC. Well, the HVAC is done and it has changed our lives. Oh my gosh, we can actually sleep. And then the rest is all in the works. I think the COVID thing has made it almost impossible to get people. Because I've called people and then you just never hear it back from certain people. And it's been really challenging. And I chalk it up to COVID. Oh, there's a kitty. Oh, look at you. That meaty boy. His eyes are so beautiful. He has very, very like light blue eyes. Oh, well, there's Poof. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Get a reproduction. That's what I think. How was your birthday? It was one of the best birthdays I've ever had in my life. It was so fun and it was happy and there was balloons. It's weird how happy balloons will make you. The captive got me a vintage looking bicycle so we can ride bicycles together. We haven't done it, but it's here, which seems really fun. is Poof in that teenager stage. I think he might actually be coming out of it. He's 2 years old. So, okay, let's see. I'm trying to like lure them over here. In your opinion, where is the best place to get Halloween decorations? I mean, Spirit Halloween has, they have a lot of like silly stuff, but then they also have like those fog machines. So they're incredible. Joanne Fabric sells all sorts of, I feel like, fun things. Oh my gosh, why am I not talking about Michael's? Michael's does the best Halloween decoration stuff. They come out with like really inventive things. So I like that. Okay. Could you make another playlist for us to listen to during projects? You know what? I've been so immersed in audiobooks lately that I haven't been listening to music as much, which I do need to get back to that. Which Golden Girl do you relate to the most? Um, Probably a mix of all of them, but maybe like Blanche. I like Blanche the most. I like all of them, truthfully. Which audiobook? Should we talk about audiobooks? I don't know. I don't I listened to a really upsetting one this month and it gave me nightmares. So, okay, recommendations. The best audiobook I can tell you to listen to at the moment is The Good Nurse. And I've probably mentioned it before. I just listened to it again last week, and it's, I would say, one of the best. I'm listening to Stephen King. Oh yeah, I'm listening to Watchers right now by Dean Koontz, and I don't usually listen to fiction, but it's one of my, I think it's my mom's or one of her very favorite books. So I'm listening to that right now, and it's a really great one. So Watchers by Dean Koontz. Are there any animals you are afraid of? Totally. I would say anything that I worry could like tear my face off. A grizzly bear. I get very concerned around them. So, and the funniest thing is horses. I love horses. I wish I could be friends with horses, but they scare me. I feel like I knew somebody who they damaged her elbow really bad. Like it didn't mean to. What is The Good Nurse about? It's about a male nurse that was killing patients, just like poking IV bags with like deadly medicines. And like he killed, they theorize 300 to 400 people before they caught him. And the hospitals kept, suspecting something was up with him, firing him because they didn't want the liability. And he'd just move on to another hospital and do the exact same thing. And it went on for like 16 years. So it's a pretty crazy book. Any more ghost sightings or spooky occurrences? Something happened last month. I don't know how spooky it is. It was strange. So we had a power outage, which we've never had one here before. There was a storm, the power went out, and I was walking through the house. It was like evening, but still light-ish outside. And I had candles, and I was walking in through the entry hallway, and right on the stairs, anywhere you walk in the house, it creaks when you walk because it's a super old house. And a heavy creak happened right on the stairs right across from me, like as if someone put a foot down and stepped down. And I looked over and I was like, okay, that was odd. And then I walked over into the library, and for just a moment, I got this whiff of like cigars and like old man cologne. And that was it. I don't know what else to tell you. It only happened for a second. So it was spooky. I'm going to tell you guys anything that happens. So I thought that was kind of spooky. True crime, The Good Nurse. I'm trying to see if I've missed any questions. Let's see. Did you go to art school? I did not. Oh, someone said you did say one of the previous owners was good looking. I guess he heard you. several actually that were extremely handsome. How is the captive? He's wonderful, I think. I like him a lot. Have you ever watched Forensic Files? No, I haven't. Do you like steampunk? I think so, yes. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I did listen. I'm going to tell you. I don't know why. The Horrible, it's terrible. It's not horrible. It's a very well written book, but I listened to, um, it's called Fall and Rise, and it's about the 9/11 thing. And I was very young when that happened. And I was all the way in California. I'd never been to New York, and it seemed like this very far away sort of concept. And also, when you're that young, you aren't really paying attention to world events too much. So it was a book that actually, it's so upsetting. So I don't know. If you do listen to that one, listen at your own risk. Someone said, I work in a Catholic hospital, and while in the library one night, I heard screaming. Ooh, I like that. Someone said you would like Forensic Files. Okay, well, then I'm definitely going to check that out. Do you guys have any other questions for me? I'm going to look at my list really quick. Oh my gosh. On a suggestion note, The White Lotus is a show on Amazon. It's not scary or anything, but I got totally roped into it and it was wonderful. Okay. Let's see. Do you enjoy classic Agatha Christie novels? I don't think I've read any. I think I mentioned that I listened to the original Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's, and it was amazing. It was just an incredible, great book. Does the captive sing in addition to playing and writing music? He does not. And neither of us have, I think, vocal talent. So our skills lie elsewhere. Let's see. Have you visited any of the old asylums in the Northeast? No. Where are some? If someone knows where some are, I would love to go. When Suzanne comes here, I have a few plans. I think we're going to do a seance up in the Widow's Walk. I want to take the vintage car out and go get some pumpkins at this amazing pumpkin farm that's not too far away, because I don't want to spend the time that she's here worrying about food preparation. I have found a chef that I'm going to have on the property taking care of all of the meals, which I've never done that in my whole life. But I just was like, think about how much work goes into like preparing food and how time consuming that is. And I really want to be able to do all sorts of fun things with her. So that's something I'm going to try, and we'll see how it works out. I'm going to essentially try to make the an episode of, or the movie Clue. I'm going to try to recreate that sort of a feel. Let's see. So it's going to be really fun. I'm trying to think of what else. I do want to go to Salem not next month, but in October. And I'm trying to think, I should have written down a few other things, because sometimes, you go along and you're just like, oh, that's something good I want to bring up. And if I forget, it's very, very tricky. Let's see. A chef is a really great idea. Do you usually cook, or does your captive? Surprisingly, the captive. He's a very, very, very good cook. So he does a lot. How are the bats? I don't think I've seen too many lately. I was thinking we should do a live stream down in the basement at some point, because there's bats down there. And so that you could very easily be doing a live stream and have like a bat flying around my head at the same time. Do you ever get stalker vibes from us? Not really. I mean, I think of you guys as being my friends. So no, not particularly. You do occasionally come across somebody who's Um, Obviously, something's a little off, but for the vast majority, everyone's just nice. So let's see. Have you ever been to the House of Seven Gables? And that is in Salem. I have not. I super want to, though. Salem is just the most exciting place you can possibly go, I think, for Halloween. I went with my mom, I think 2 years ago now. I think 2 years ago. It was the Halloween before the whole pandemic thing happened. And it was one of the most incredible Halloweens ever. I don't think I can go again on a Halloween because now that we have this house, you kind of have to be here to like hand out candy and make sure that you're like involved in the community a little bit on Halloween. So I don't know that I'll get to do that again anytime soon, but that's why I don't know. I'm really excited to see if we get more trick-or-treaters this year. Last year, obviously, like there were no vaccinations, so we had like a pole set up that like people would come up and we would drop candy down a pole. It worked and nobody got sick. So let's see. What's your favorite fall candle? Anything pumpkin smelling, I get really into. Do you believe in witchcraft? Not really. But I have fun like pretending and playing. Are you dressing up for Halloween? Absolutely. Every Halloween. I love getting dressed up. It's like my very favorite thing. So we should make candles. I don't know when. I made candles on the Netflix show, and I feel like I could do some even more fun than what I did there. So that's something we could absolutely tackle. I wonder why Halloween makes us so happy. It fills me with so much excitement. Like there's a smell to it, the movies, the mood, everything about it. Just there's a new Halloween movie coming out in October. It's Halloween Kills. It's the sequel that Blumhouse did. I loved their last one, so I can't wait for that. Someone said, let's see, I just started making candles this week. It's a very, very fun thing to do. I actually think I need to start lighting some pumpkin scented things around the house to just like really start getting me ready for it. I really kind of started thinking about Halloween this year at the end of July. I want to say that's when I feel like it should really start kicking off. Yes, for Halloween Kills. I love like new horror movies. There's not too many that come out that are super that I get so excited to see. And I don't know why I can never get enough of like remakes of that movie, but I can't. They could make a new one every year. I wouldn't mind. Are you looking forward to Candyman and Scream? Totally. Candyman scared the crap out of me when I was younger. I'm trying to think. Do we all remember the first rated R movie we ever saw? I can tell you mine. My parents were really strict about watching like scary stuff, and like I had to beg my mom forever before I could see that Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola one. And so one night I snuck down, and I don't remember the circumstance exactly, but I got to see RoboCop. And there's a moment where some guy is like covered in like a bad guy is covered in acid and is like he's melting. And it was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that in my whole life. And it was so horrifying. I don't think I even attempted to watch another scary movie for a while. So it's a good one to scare you with. Any art project updates? I would love to do another painting. I don't know how into me doing paintings you guys are, but I would love to do one once a year, but theoretically, like realistically, if you guys like me doing oil paintings, I would love to do another one sometime next year. It's one of those things you get better at it the more you do it. And it's a hobby that I kind of picture myself like when I get much older and I slow down, that I hope that I can start doing more consistently because I actually really enjoy it. Silence of the Lambs. Oh my gosh, if I watched Silence of the Lambs as my first scary movie, I don't think I would have ever recovered from that. You know, these cats were just a complete dud. They were supposed to be just before I I started the live stream. Poof was crawling around over here, and now they've all disappeared. Are you a fan of old black and white horror films? Totally. I was thinking when Suzanne comes, I don't want to like in case she's watching, I don't want to spoil all the fun. But one of the things I was thinking is setting up a projector in one of the big rooms and like watching something spooky and fun. I needed a cookie. What are your cat's favorite kind of toys? It's this thing. It's like the number one thing that they go after. It's got like a weird little worm, and then it's got like an extender. If you look them up on Amazon, look for like extender sort of something. I don't know. But you can play with them like really easily, just like sitting on the couch because you can just be like doing stuff over here. And they will usually show up very quickly. Oh, I see a little kitty coming over here. House on Haunted Hill. I love old Vincent Price movies. So that's one of my favorites of his. And then The House of Usher is also just incredible, I think. What about making the pins like, or the skulls on the pins? I love that. And that's something I've totally thought about doing. Are you guys going to drink cocktails or mocktails? I'm not a big alcohol drinker just because I'll pass out. I just get tired very quickly. I don't think I have the reaction most people have to alcohol. So we will certainly have cocktails. I might have one, but I really kind of just prefer like cranberry juice or something like that. But we're totally going to be putting like dry ice. Do you guys want to do another dry ice kind of a thing? Because I did last year, I did a live stream where we did like punch. And I think I might have figured out a better way to do that project. And I have the most spectacular punch bowl that I found this year. And it was really, really fun. So I don't know if you guys want to see like an updated, better version of that recipe, but I could do that. Most of the things you guys see me do, it's the first time I'm doing it. So making this dress form out of cardboard was just, I don't know. I didn't know how that was going to work out. I've never made like that bodysuit pattern that I made on it in the last episode. I saw so many people talking about like Buffalo Bill, and it totally reminded me of that. And it was I had to like figure out a lot on how to create that pattern on it. So I don't know. So when I say a lot of these things are my first, sometimes I'll do something and I'll make an episode, and then a certain amount of time will pass, and then I'll just figure out a better way to do something. So if you guys ever see repeats, it's only because I figured out a better way to do something. Which I was going to tell you something else. But let me get a drink first. Let's talk about the dress form a little more because I realized something about it. So when I was first getting into the idea of doing a dress form, I did a whole bunch of research on how to make something that had never been done this way. So it was something unique. So that was a big thing. I wanted to make sure I wasn't spending a ton of money on it. And going into it, I thought I could make something that you guys would all be able to recreate yourselves. And I don't know when the tipping point was exactly, but at some point in this project, I realized, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And like, I think it was when I was sculpting the actual thing. So, is everyone gonna recreate this in this dress form? I don't know. But you certainly, I mean, certainly a lot of people could, but I didn't understand how hard it was gonna be. And it has actually turned into one of those projects that if this thing like burned up or disappeared or something, I don't know if I'd make another one. It's so hard. And so I was thinking, well, what is the takeaway for you guys watching this process go on? And I realized that it really is that there's a lot of problem solving along the entire thing. And so many things have to be figured out. And there might be elements along the way that maybe when you're recreating something else at home, it doesn't have to be a dress form, it could be anything. Even that like invisible stitch that I showed you guys. I hope that there's enough little like Easter eggish type things that like inspire you that you can apply to different projects. But if you actually do recreate this thing exactly how I'm showing you, I'm sorry. Because I didn't know it was going to be this hard. I thought it was going to be a whole lot easier. So all I can tell you is it was cheap. It did not cost me a lot of money to make. It has just cost me my time, my sanity, and it almost cost me my finger. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you watch the next episode. It's the last dress form making episode you will see me make. I can say that about it. Let's see. Okay. Well, you guys, I am going to get back to work. I'm actually going to crash tonight and I'm going to wake up and keep sculpting away at this thing. Hopefully, it will be done soon. The second it's finished and I wrap up the episode and get it out to you, I'm going to be tackling these smaller episodes and getting them out as soon as I can. So, look forward to all of that fun stuff. I'm so excited for the things that are coming this next month in September and especially in October. And I've even got something really cool planned for Christmas. So stay tuned, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again very soon.